Hey guys, this is John playing 5 Minute, and I got Ego Koi, a grandmaster from the Philippines. Yep, Philippines. I have to protect my gaudy 5 minute rating. Everyone, you should be so impressed by my 2518 rating. Please worship me for these internet rating points. No, but it is nice to be over 2500. Mainly because I get to play good players. Like, you don't really get any bad players, not bad, but let's say lower rated players in the pool when you have a rating like this. Let's just go A6. I'm moderately worried he's going to play knight B5 or something. I think A6 is useful in a lot of cases too. But yeah, having a higher rating means better quality players, which means more interesting opponents for you guys. Knight to E5. Perhaps I trade on D4 and then go Queen B6. It's possible. Could just play Bishop F5. Bishop F5, he might go G4. Let's see if I can goad him into playing G4, actually. I wouldn't be too upset if that move is appearing on the board. Yeah, that could get interesting if he does that. Because I could do a number of things. Okay, let's just put this guy back on G6. Let's see who this grandmaster is. Unlisted. There's not a ton of grandmasters in the Philippines. So, interesting Philippines-related note. Wesley So, who is number 10, I believe, in the world, in FIDE, well above 2750, I think closer to 2775, actually, has moved to Minnesota, which is the state I reside in here in the U.S. And yeah, he lives about 20 minutes away from me now, which is pretty awesome. So he's moved here to try to improve his chess career, and he's going to make a go of it as a chess professional, as well he should, I think, because he's pretty amazing. And he's decided to make Minnesota his home. So awesome news for our local chess community, and we wish Wesley the best because he's an awesome guy, and he's actually played some events here in Minnesota, and everyone just loves him around here. Okay, E4. Probably just D4. Yeah, let's just advance. I wonder where he'll put his knight. Because on A4 it's kind of stranded. So I would expect him to maybe even do something funky like, well, I was going to say knight takes G6, H takes G6, E5. Like responding to a threat with a threat. But that would be a blunder in view of knight H5. He would have both his bishop and his knight hanging. So he chooses that square. Makes sense. Let's go back this way. So now I'm threatening B5. I'm sure that will be on his radar. Yeah, so he makes a retreat square for his knight possible. If I could come into bishop to A3 now. That would be intriguing. Ooh, what about knight H5? Knight H5 he can take on G6, huh? Bishop A3 looks really tempting. Kind of like that move. Let's do it. No, knight C4. That's what he can do. What if I take, and then bishop A3? What does he do about that? Let's try that. I spent a little time, so let's see if that works out. It's kind of trappy, but his knight is really stranded over here. I guess he can play C4. Plays rook B1. Let's go here as planned. Knight retreats. I'm liking this position. He's sending his knight like on an epic journey. Okay, let's not get our bishop trapped behind enemy lines with b4. So I'm playing that move also to enable the move. What was I going to say? Forgot what I was going to say, but now I got to respond to some threat in the center. No, that's not a good one. Yeah. Okay, let's go there. Let's just retreat. I think it's not terrible if we trade light square bishops. I am worried I'm giving his knight more scope. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I played bishop c5 way back on move 17 to enable the protection of the d-pawn so I can play knight d7. Alright, let's just back this dude up. I don't really see what it's doing on f6 anymore. Bishop b6, maybe? Yeah. Trade with me. Let's initiate doubling of the rooks. We all sack and exchange. Oh, I might have had rook takes f2, or rook takes c2 rather. Followed by d3 discovered check. I kind of still like that move. I kind of want to do it. But he has knight f6. Let's just go here. It's useful. Okay, I think this is strong, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I could have done that originally. So if he takes d3 check, so I bet he's not going to take. Yeah, he just moves his king. Let's take this pawn now. So if I can weather the kingside storm, I'm sitting pretty. Why would you go queen g4? What's up with that move? Oh, he just wants to go rook g3. That's it. Well, let's bring this in. I'm not scared of rook g3. Rook g3, I just play rook g8. What you got? I got rook here. Ooh, is knight g5 problematic? Oh, man. Please don't play knight g5. He didn't see it. Let's offer a trade. Take me. Take me. Wow. Let's try to be a pest with our rook, or with our queen. Maybe now bishop here. I still don't know what to do with knight g5. Knight f6. What? Can't I just take it? I don't get it. Queen there.
Time warning.
No way. No way this works. Check?
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Take here.
Check. Check.
Okay, I'm going for a win.
Check.
Might be a foolish decision.
Check. Check. check, check, check,
Oh no!
check,
I got mated almost.
check, check,
Oh wow. Yeah, his king march to g5 could have been successful. Yeah, I played this move. He had queen h6 mate.
checkmate,
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's take a look at that. So London system with bishop f4. c5 is a good way to play against London because the queen can come out to b6. And I'm not too familiar with the treatment of this position involving knight c3. I do know a lot of like authentic London players like to do this. Many London players prefer to play c3 and put the bishop on d3. But a lot of these like really theoretical London players will do this and maybe try to get knight b5 in. So this happened. I think a6 is a good move. I'm pretty happy about that move. It just seems like a useful idea. Should he ever take my pawn on c5, I just play e6 and I'm going to regain it quickly. So a6, he jumped into e5. I played bishop f5. I was speculating about the move g4. I was wondering if that was possible. Because a lot of times after g4, if you retreat the bishop to g6, you run into problems after h4. Because h6, knight takes g6, is not something black wants. Have to seriously damage their kingside structure. And if take on e5, then just pawn takes, and this bishop's in trouble because the knight moves and h5 is coming. Not to mention my d5 pawn would be weak. So if g4, I probably would have gone back here, or I might have captured on e5, maybe. Nah, I probably would have retreated to e6. This looks safer, just to overprotect d5. So he didn't do that. He did bishop d3, went back, played e6, rook c8 just to make sure I don't have to double my pawns. I was happy with this. I like this position. I'm going to add the engine, because right around here I thought maybe I had something better. d4 here, bishop back. So now I'm threatening the b5 move, trapping his knight. He did this. Okay, the engine just says play b5 immediately. And after knight back, knight h5, okay. Yeah, the knight h5 move was a move I thought about at various times, but I wasn't entirely sure about. So I took, then played bishop a3. This might be too fancy. My bishop does get kind of far-flung, and my threat is obvious with this move. Very obvious. And here I played bishop c5 just so I can go knight d7 without losing the d-pawn. He took. I took here and he went f4. I'm surprised the engine likes my position this much because I didn't feel like I was worse, but he's crowding my light square bishop, and you know I've got to be very wary of f5, especially as a threat. So here, why does the engine say queen e7? Let's figure that out. Pause the engine. Because I considered queen e7 just as a way to discourage f5, but I thought after this, take, I thought this bishop was getting trapped. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Because even though this bishop has no squares, what does black have here? The answer is d3.
check,
This discovered attack, which was a big theme in the game, as it happened. So, queen e7 would have been playable. I played h6. Here, bishop h7. Now queen back, yep. e5. Here. Okay, so this was probably the first moment where I could have done rook takes c2. Yeah. And after take, I give this
Check.
discovered check. Let's say he bails to the corner, and then I take. And I think black's compensation is significant. I'm only down 1 point of material, but provided this pawn doesn't fall, black's doing all right. mean, with my bishop lurking here, if his knight ever moves, I'll be protecting that c5, that c2 pawn even further. With my bishop lurking, I don't know. I like it. Let's see what the engine thinks. See if it gives this as a good move. Yep, rook takes c2. Would have been strong. And like I said, I saw it right after I played rook c7. He did this. Ah, okay, against this I can simply take and then
Check.
do d3 check. And take this pawn, I assume. Okay. I played king h8. I wonder if rook takes c2 is any good here. I think not, because he can just check. And then go in the bishop. Take it with his knight. So this bishop remains on d3. Yeah, that would have been good for him. So therefore, king h8, he went here. Oh, okay, bishop takes e4 is even stronger, once again. Wow, it's almost winning in this position.
Check.
Basically is winning. Let's say king h1, take, he has to go here, queen b4. Hitting the bishop. And if bishop takes, then I guess I just gang up on that piece. Okay. And he's losing it. Powerful discovered attack. So I did that one. I guess it's, even though it wins a pawn, it's not as effective as the bishop takes move, because I can't, even by taking on c2, I can't force his bishop to take me. Now, the only other thing I was really wondering about, we're both getting fairly low on time at this point. I was wondering, yeah, like if he could do another knight move here. I was actually most concerned about knight g5, but I didn't even see knight d6 as a possibility. Wow, the computer thinks that's super dangerous for me. Knight d6. Take, king here. Knight g5.
Check.
Wow. And I can't take it because he mates me.
Checkmate.
So presumably I'd have to play this move. Then he has at least a perpetual with knight f7. But if he wants to go for more, he can do this. Wow. What about knight g5? Let's check that one. Knight g5 I can just take? Really? Well, I thought he takes here now. And again, I can't take his bishop. Okay, the engine thinks rook c8 is good for me. Creating a counter threat, rook c1. This is very sharp. Black is up material, but his threats around my king, which he kind of has to go for, he's got to do the Hail Mary, attack my king. Those threats can get big pretty quick, but I guess here, black is faster. What about knight g5 coming up? Okay, still here, knight d6 the engine likes. Even here, not even taking the rook, still knight d6. And I guess, it finds a way for me to like give up my rook and then bring my queen back to c7 with tempo to defend this guy. But I doubt I would have seen that in the game. So he just hesitated too long on getting his knight in. Yep, knight d6 was a strong move for several moves in a row. What about knight g5 again? Can take once more. And if he takes here, d3. Resource. Aha. Threatening check, followed by mate, if nothing changes. What if he goes queen h5, though? Then I could probably check on g1, check on h1, king g4, queen takes h4 even, just simple. Trade queens, and then I'm going to win his bishop. Or, yeah, it's probably winning. See, he could take my rook. Well, I should probably show the line I'm looking at. Like, if he goes here, give a check, here, check again, here, and just trade. Just in time to save myself on the h-file. Because after this, even though he can take my rook and I take his rook, I don't think he can stop this pawn, is the thing. Yeah, if his king comes back, I just take his bishop and win. Okay. Wild, wild game. And now knight f6 is totally unsound. Again, knight d6 the engine wants to play. I played bishop a5, by the way, just to try to get this move in. I wanted to kick that rook off the g3 square. we're getting into time scramble mode. You know, yeah, I'm totally winning here, I guess, if I just take his pawn on f4, but for some reason, this position was not obvious to me, like how I should win in time pressure. He's threatening mate on h7. And if I take his bishop, he gets a perpetual.
Check. Check.
So I burned like half my time, roughly.
Check.
Didn't I? Yeah, I burned like half my time before playing rook takes g2. Which is the best move, and it's minus 25.
Check.
But
Check.
it sure took me a lot of time on the
Check.
clock.
Check.
And then finally I worked up the courage to take this, which was a huge gamble with 6 seconds left,
Check.
but fortunately it paid off.
Check. Check.
Yeah, I could have been severely punished for this. Now it was just time scramble. And he
Check.
could have mated me. Queen e1. I just played queen e1 because I thought he would come back to g3 or something, but yeah, he overlooked queen h6 mate.
Check. Check.
Lucky break
Check.
for me. Okay, so with that win, I am up to, what was it, 25 something. 25-24, something like that? Yep, 25-24. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed this 5-minute game. And as always, please leave me any feedback in the comments. Hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.